Yeah.
Percent shot. Oh, wow. Yeah.
There's enough sound. All right.
Sure. They need to try something. Is that what happened?
Oh, yeah, I did it.
Or, and then we'll get started.
See what was.
Yeah, it's. My phone is paying off, rated up.
No. Being kind to you.
Did I show it?
Same thing right now, I'm like. I think it's, hey, look, yeah.
Me too. Very sure.
Broke that. I'm pretty excited. You gotta have a new.
Another chair, sorry. That's why they try, but they never get it, but. Or could you,
Yeah, we can drop that call.
can you slide this there? Okay, perfect.
Now, close the bill, must hold.
Does anybody need a section for work?
Oh, I prepared a lot.
That's
a cute little thing.
Hey, I'm, oh, you're part of that.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm not, I won't get these things.
So good. How do I get one?
Okay.
Or like, they're gonna.
I,
Reach out to your connection up or.
reach out to your connector.
Hook up.
Great, which is you.
I will make it up.
Then they can go from there.
Silverware. Is that close to me starting again?
It's perfect.
Please start.
It's still on.
I'm gonna call the meeting to order. It is 6:11. As we can all see, we're having a very, luxurious potluck tonight. Welcome. Thank you, everyone. There's so much gratitude and so much happiness in the room with all this food. Thank you, everybody, for being here and for bringing something. It's really fantastic. And for those of you that are joining us remotely, I hope that you eat something delicious in the comfort of your spaces. So welcome to the February 26th, 2026 meeting of the Climate Fund Kingston Commission. I'm Julie Noble, the Sustainability Coordinator and Chair. And with us, we have every voting commissioner. We also have Kevin McAvoy, a non-voting commissioner. So we have every commissioner who is voting and non-voting that is present. We also have some guests. And would any of our guests like to make any public comment for the record?
Sure.
Let's sit back there. No, I don't have anything right now.
Okay. Great. So are there any modifications to the agenda? And it may go without saying, but feel free to get up and get food throughout the meeting. Are there any modifications to the agenda?
No.
No? Okay.
That's true.
So we will move on to review and approval of the January 2026 minutes. There's a motion. Is there a second? Second, I will just, I think I have one thing.
Yeah.
Ready. Oh, yes. On the second page, under the 5 organizational matters, line 2, Aneshka's name is a Z instead of an S.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay, we'll take care of that.
Thank you. Are there any issues or things with the minutes? If not, second, all in favor? Anyone opposed or abstaining? All right. Motion carried.
Who was the first and the second?
I don't remember.
Me.
Who? It had to be moved. Jake seconded.
Okay, got it. Okay. I'll just have to get used to where you're all sitting, that's all.
Okay. I'll probably just going to state that it's likely that during the meeting I will be speaking with food in my mouth.
Not a lot of alternative.
Okay. Organizational procedures. Two things. One, we have a couple of different, applicants in the room that have shared their applications, but prior to that, I just want to let Anthony, you know that your application, your term ends on March 1st, which is Sunday. Or Saturday. So if you want to reapply, you just need to submit an application for reappointment. And if you don't want to, then you should probably let us know because we have several people who are interested in the positions. Do you want to talk about that now or not necessarily?
I mean, I intend to reapply, I guess. How many terms can I serve?
When you want.
Four.
As many as you want and what,
I stuck with me.
until the administration says no. So. Do we assume that you're going to reapply? Yes, okay. So on to reviewing the three applications that we've received. I did circulate them. If anyone either needs a refresher or didn't see them and wants to see printed versions of Chris Hughes, who is present tonight, and Jessica Shebeck, who is present tonight, or Troy Shaheen, who's not present tonight. Those are here. By the way, these are available. We direct some more over here. And there's also traits.
Treats are frozen though, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
I believe, I can't remember now, but last month I think we had these guys introduce themselves, right?
Yeah.
So what could happen tonight is asking them for more information, asking them to leave the room and go into executive session and discussing their appointments, and then asking them to come back in. Or no action. Now,
I propose that we go into executive session and discuss, since we had a little bit of time with them last month.
and is that a motion?
That's a motion.
Is there a second? Second? All in favor of going into executive session?
I,
Okay. So it is,
Hold on, can we get discussion on that?
you can, we just voted, but well,
Well,
you don't want to
yeah.
go into executive session?
Not really,
Why?
because it seems like we could. I'll just do it, but I mean, yes, if that's. What,
Do you know,
If there's
I wanna do, then.
If there's going to be a discussion about their appointment and an open discussion about whether or not that this committee sees fit for them to be appointed, it typically would happen in executive session. Because even if you may feel one way, other folks may feel different way. But there was just a vote, and the vote was to go into executive session, so we will be entering into executive session. It is 6:17. Kaya and Kevin, since you're remote, you're not going to participate.
Right,
So I will be
right. I
muting
don't
you.
vote anyway, so, yeah, I'm out. Yeah.
So I'm gonna be
who made
muting
this?
the room.
The second, who was second? I heard the first, Cal was first, but who was second?
Cat Carol.
Okay, Cat, great. We got
So
it.
we're going to enter into executive session. I'm going to mute and turn off the video, and then we will enter back in shortly. Kaya and Kevin will see you in a minute.
Put you on the return, yep.
All three of them had to take us. Yeah.
Hi, we are back from executive session at 6:23.
Made the effort to cook.
So we'll wait until we have acknowledgement from Kevin.
Yeah. Oh, I'm here. I'm-
Right. Melissa for coordinating.
Yeah, thank you for-
Really impressed to, invite applicants back into the room and open the door. Someone let me know. Okay.
Maybe.
Prop the door open, please.
This is the.
So we enter back at 6:23.
Right, and who made the motions?
Cal made the motion and Jake seconded it to exit executive session.
Okay,
Okay, and it was unanimous.
right.
So we are now, back in, regular session. And I'll entertain a motion on, either Aneshka or Chris or Troy.
A motion that we appoint the next to the non-voting position.
I second that motion.
Is there any discussion? All in favor of appointing, or of making a recommendation to the mayor to recommend Aneshka for the non-voting position, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? Okay, we will send the recommendation.
Thank you.
For you.
I'm very excited. Excited to have you.
I need the motion again, first and the second.
Jake made the motion and Kat seconded.
Okay, Kat,
Okay.
I caught, I missed Jake. Okay, very good.
Okay, I can entertain a motion for Chris Hughes.
I motion to appoint Chris Hughes to the voting position.
So there's a motion from Jake. Is there a second? Second from Roberto. Any
Right.
discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstaining? All right, motion carried, so unanimous. Chris, welcome.
Thank you.
I swear it is not influenced by the chili.
Not.
Kelly is very good.
Okay, so I will, the next action is that I will send a recommendation to the mayor. And should he be,
Hello.
Kevin,
Oh, I think Kevin's frozen.
Kevin,
Talking.
Kevin, you're frozen / we can hear
No,
you,
no,
just in case
it's
you make,
Hey,
okay.
yeah, it's unstable. Yeah, what happened? Yeah, I'm good. I killed an app.
Okay, and then you would, should the mayor be amenable, then you would be invited, you would be appointed for a 2-year position effective immediately. You would be asked to go and sign the oath of office in the city hall, which needs to happen some Monday through Friday between 8:30 and 4:30. Great, well, welcome, congratulations, welcome. All right, and so, we did have some discussion about the third applicant, and we felt as though the positions right now would be best filled by the folks that were recommended, and we can entertain other appointments in the future. Anything else with organizational procedures? Moving on to new business, which is the 2026 focus initiatives and the potluck. Also for the record, please, and it was stated, but on the record, thank you, Melissa Iachetta, for arranging the potluck. I would say that we should do this every year.
I know.
I was gonna say, every year, certainly annually.
Oh, that's great.
I think it's helpful for camaraderie and attendance and many other things. So, Cal, are you good here? Can you want to play the game or? Yes,
I think that's okay.
I'm going to share my screen and I will take notes.
Okay. I don't remember how we did this last year.
But this is now tradition, so we gotta do it.
So last year, this is a copy of last year with some edits, right?
Yes,
Okay, so last year we went down a list of proposed actions that were in alignment with the Kingston's 2030 climate plan to see what we wanted to focus on as initiatives as a commission, things that we can do to support the climate plan for the city of Kingston. And we have had internal discussion that I think is reflected in the document. There was a little bit of commentary in the Google document. I know I made some comments, Kat made some comments. I didn't see if anybody else did. But essentially we can just go down the list and see what people feel like we have energy for this year. We don't have to do everything. I think maybe ideally we would pick a few things that we want to put a lot of energy into and start with that. Yeah.
Can I propose that we have like 3 tiers of energy? So one being like, I don't know, committed to, and then another being supporting, and then another being no action, or like tabling. Just so that we know kind of what level of effort we're putting in to each topic. So maybe after we discuss each topic, we can discuss which of those 3 tiers it goes into.
Works for me. Are folks cool with that?
Is that what the support, is that?
That would be the CSKC role,
Essentially, we could put it in there.
so it would either be,
It's kind of a
Like-
prioritization also.
so either like top or like 2026 support or
Table.
table. Okay.
Or no action at this time, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
First initiative would be benchmarking and performance standards. Adopting benchmarking requirements for commercial multifamily buildings. What do we want to do about this? Does anyone feel excited about us taking on a leadership role as a commission on benchmarking?
Was that why
Good question. Open, the discussion is open.
soliciting building owners to benchmark the buildings?
Or,
No.
or passing legislation.
This is before that.
Yeah.
This is just
To
required.
require.
Okay.
Well, that would be advocacy, or we would talk to we would maybe come up with something, talk to the common council, get them to vote on it.
So it needs to be like research into who has it already, what is it having it mean? What does it apply to? When does it start to going into effect? What does the language for the local law look like? Who's going to enact it?
Right.
Who's going to track on it?
I will say with my knowledge of the current political climate, as well as my knowledge of some of the grants that got tabled, that were either, I think, federally awarded, regarding benchmarking, I don't know that this is the most salient topic politically right now. That's just my opinion, but that's kind of where my head would be on that.
Okay, other thoughts on benchmarking? Does this feel like an urgent thing that we want to top prioritize? Do we want to put some energy into doing like some research and seeing what other communities are doing just to stay sort of informed on what's going on around the state?
I use some model codes from small cities that we could look at, not from New York State. Because their city in New York State, I think, is the best in building performance standard besides New York City.
So that could be more of like a topic of interest if we wanted to have a meeting maybe where we look over some of that and someone leads maybe a conversation on that.
So I would put that in like level 2
Like an
of
intro.
support or research, but not necessarily take action on until we're better informed at least.
How's that
Yeah,
sound?
there's a lot. Involved with benchmarking. Voluntary.
It's a lot of work.
So I don't know what even policy or.
Especially, I mean,
Voluntary thing, but.
Yeah.
Well, people are probably so.
the view Kingston is so small in terms of the number of commercial buildings that we have here.
Yeah.
I mean, that you would have to like go talk to everyone individually
Mhm.
and just be like, I don't know that like legislation would ever really make sense, but maybe like helping people understand what their options are would definitely make sense as a beginning place.
Are we also assigning people who are interested in working on these things?
That's a
At
good-
this exercise?
I think
It's a good
idea.
Because then if no one actually wants to move it forward,
If we don't have the energy, then we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
And is Green Valley creating your authority to set up?
I have a.
Some else.
It's very good, very good.
The first layers, but.
Yeah, I just use that, but
Not really.
Green County Street, New York is still around. But I wouldn't say it covering benchmark. I didn't know they did that.
It starts with an audit of your bill.
Kel, what's happening?
The columns on the thing are messed up. I noticed this when I was typing notes
Yep.
into it.
It's not a spreadsheet.
So maybe we should,
That's not a spreadsheet.
It's because it's.
Oh, it's just a Google document.
Just a Google Doc that Julie's trying to make, just a square peg trying to get into a round hole. Well, I'm gonna figure it out as we go.
I just have a thought,
Go ahead.
and
and say yes or no. What, as we're going through this, or before we finish going through this, Julie and Phil, are there any priorities that you all have right now as the city where you feel like our support could be like most helpful and strategic to you all? And then the second question is like, Betta and Melissa, out of what you know the nonprofits and up to in Kingston, what some of the priorities are for the city? And if that fits into the city of Kingston, if there's anything that we could do to support those initiatives as the city has, just to help us think through this stuff too.
Good questions.
Do you want to be doing those questions per?
No,
Or
I
action or
maybe you guys could just first
Generally.
tell us that, and then we could maybe go through the actions after that, and that would help us prioritize a little bit.
Oh, my immediate needs right now have more to do with like, compiling data, which is not. something
Yeah, that's not
that
really
would be
something
for
we
you
do.
guys.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't thought about it, so I'm not sure if I can come up with
Okay.
it quick. I mean, being project managers would be really cool. In things. It's hard, the other stuff, I don't know, actually,
Yeah,
no way
okay.
that good.
like I was just thinking, if there's anything where you're like, oh, we'd love to do that, but we don't know anything about it. Like something we could like research or add.
I mean, for future solar, but the thing is, how much say do we have in that? But I feel like solar plus batteries, that whole thing is sort of an unknown to me, and I don't know how you feel about it, but it's, yeah, like that could be sort of interesting if we're planning to continue.
Are you talking municipal solar plus batteries, like
Yeah.
owned by the city?
Yeah, but I mean, I should really leave it up to Julie to talk about this.
I actually
That
think
one
that
next.
you're spot on, because I don't, I mean, I don't have anything right now where it's like, dang, I wish I had still been working on this. I mean, between Phil and I and our office and Casey and an intern that I have for organics, like, I haven't put thought into like, if I had another resource, what would that resource be doing?
Right,
I think it tends to just come up as we move along through
Yeah.
projects.
yeah,
I can think of something cool though. It would be really, I feel like having some kind of, like, this has already come up with the housing sector, but we've been talking about it a tiny bit, but having some kind of revolving fund for like renewable energy projects in the city would be really useful. And I feel like that in my mind, that's the kind of thing where Climate Smart could write a strongly word or like a letter being like, we think that this is an important thing. I don't know.
Yeah. What's that thing for me? Anthony, what you got?
Yeah, like the P3 action for climate smart communities is like the energy audits of buildings. So I mean, isn't that something that we're doing?
Great for municipal buildings.
Yeah. Isn't that,
Yeah, we have done energy audits of our buildings. This is just another, so each climate smart communities action has, each category, like PE1, PE2, whatever, has multiple tasks or actions underneath it. It's not the only thing under PE3.
oh,
So we've done other PE3 things, we've done other PE8 things. This is just one of the PE3 things.
So just, yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to move us along, because I don't want us to get stuck on this. It sounds like we have some curiosity about benchmarking. We don't want to pick it up as like a initiative this year. Does anyone want to take lead on any kind of research or presentation to the group? Sounds like you had some information, but I don't.
I have some model codes I'm happy to share from other
Sounds good.
places in the country.
Okay, so I will do that. And I think you said across New York State. I actually think it's not across New York.
Yeah,
Because New York State doesn't have any others except New York City, right?
yeah, there's the Ithaca.
Yeah, that's right.
Ithaca kind of is their thing they tried to do, but I think they sort of.
They
quit
all.
all.
Okay, all right, that's benchmarking. We can talk about what each of these things looks like in practice, maybe after we determine what we're excited about.
Cal, can I add something?
Yeah, what you got?
So in regards to Emily's point about knowing what the sustainability team's priorities are within the city, it sounds to me, and Julie, let me know if this is not accurate, but it sounds to me like you guys have your municipal stuff pretty well covered, and there might be places where we can slot in a little bit of effort throughout the year as things come up. But you don't necessarily have, maybe we can add revolving fund for clean energy as like a topic in our list here and get to it when we get to it. But like, to me, it sounds like while Climate Smart Kingston can help with some of those municipal things, there's a fair amount of space and room to do what we want to do this year. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Just wanted to clarify that.
Yeah.
And so that's a helpful like lens for me to approach this conversation.
Would it be okay if we just spent like a couple minutes, and I don't know if Betta or Melissa, just for your guys' work? Sure, I mean, I think probably what's needed most is education about how clean energy solutions can improve people's lives and save money oftentimes. One thing that we could potentially focus on, which I think we started talking about, is some kind of public education prioritization of households in Kingston that are on delivered fuels. Because that, if you're on gas and you switch to heat pumps, you don't necessarily save money. I mean, we did it.
Right now.
Right now. I'm happy we did.
Yeah.
But it's not something where we can like really advertise necessarily switching to, I mean, there's other benefits, right? For people who are on gas, switch to heat pumps, but if you're on oil.
Yeah.
That you actually will save money, or if you're on electric baseboard heating. So that's an area is really good.
Okay.
And there's a new clean heat rebate.
Yes.
That's just hot off the presses. That I mean, I don't even off the top of my head, like, no, it just came out like I think week before last.
Yeah.
It's all over the state. So that's, and there's no, what was the program called that we used to have, the heat pump? Like we had Solarize, we had like a Solarize campaign. Smart. Yeah, like that doesn't exist anymore. So I think there is a real gap.
Yeah.
And, you know, we're not going to be working on like legislation, obviously advocacy, but I think there is a real need for, you know, the public to be positive and embracing of climate solutions right now, because the opposition is doing everything they can, the opposition being the fossil fuel industry, is doing everything they can to roll back our climate act at the state level and just basically convince people that electrifying is a bad idea and renewable energy is too costly and implementing our climate law is too costly. So if there's a way that we could do kind of public education, maybe getting people excited about the city's climate plan, which I feel like as commissioners, we don't even have a great handle on, instead of myself included. So yeah, those are just off the top of my head, some ideas.
Before we have, Kaya had a hand up.
Okay.
Go ahead. What you got?
Hi.
I was sorry to interrupt this conversation. Let's go back to it. When it's time to move on to the next initiative, I was going to ask if we can go all the way to the bottom and talk about the one I suggested, because I have to leave at 7. So if there's any questions, I can be here for it.
Okay, great. We'll do that next. All right. What do you got, Kat?
Oh, I was gonna say, I suggested, one of my suggestions further down was like a heat pump education campaign, which I think is very much in line with what you're talking about, but making it broader than heat pumps, like energy efficiency. Yeah, well, also energy efficiency, especially for people like who can't afford heat pumps right now, but who might be interested when their boiler breaks down or something, you know, like just teaching people about what their options are, and then like with an eye to affordability.
Yeah.
Especially right now.
I can think of 2 organizations already doing that work in the city of Kingston might be able to support, but.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of work being done. I have some friends who work on like the various NYSERDA contracts and everything, but I think it's different when it comes from a city board.
Sure.
I think there's like a different level of engagement and potentially weight to to just getting people out to learn about these things. As opposed to it coming from like a private contractor or something like that, so.
All right, very good. Let's talk about Kaya's proposal at the bottom of the sheet. It was on refrigerants, maybe? Refrigerant management program, go ahead.
All right, just based on the presentation we received in our last meeting, I thought there's still work that we could do on refrigerant management for the city. I was particularly drawn to the point that city vehicles make up 26% of the city's refrigerant bank, but most of the emissions were from motor vehicle air conditioning systems. And so, and I also thought it was interesting that it was brought up that the city already has these RRR machines at the DPW garage, but that mechanics aren't using them. So, an action could be to survey the city mechanics to understand why they're not using them, and then we could suggest incentives to inspire them to use them. And if you remember back to the presentation, I can't really recap it for you, but it was something about how those R1234YF, they're particularly damaging in those first years. And so just stopping them can really save a lot of greenhouse gases from getting into the atmosphere.
I think Phil should speak to this because you're the most intimately involved in this.
I'm right now trying to look up what our machine is, but
Yeah.
so
And I'm not sure that they don't
yeah, I think they
not
use,
use it,
yeah, I think they use those, but that is something that I should go talk to the garage about,
Okay.
I think. Because I think this is, I think this, if they're not using it, it's probably just because nobody's been like, hey, can you use it for a minute? So I'll go talk to them and see what's going on. But I'm pretty sure the system, well, I am not an expert. If Michael said they're not using them, then they're probably not using them.
So this might be a Bill do some recon before it becomes a project for the commission. Okay.
And so I guess one thing I would add to this just really quick for more context with the 50%, more than 50% of emissions going from motor vehicles, that isn't a number that comes from a measurement. It's an estimate based off of the sort of the leak rate for vehicles. So, I mean, that the leak rate is probably based, of course, is based on something real, but when like the other measurements, like the measurements from like, for example, the installed AC systems, the amount of released greenhouse gas emissions from those in that report are from real events that have happened. Does that make sense?
So the vehicle emissions are estimated.
It's an estimate, yeah.
The machine, like the other machine emissions.
The other stuff is that's at least that's the way I remember the report. Maybe Julie, you remember it differently, but I'm pretty sure it's the motor vehicle AC is an estimate, and the other things are like the real things.
Agreed.
And that might be that's partly because, and I think that, so just to get a little bit deeper, the estimate for the motor vehicles is going to be based partly off of like when you total a truck or something and all of the refrigerants get released that instant. So you then take that and you average that over all the vehicles. So I mean, I think what I'll do is maybe I'll reach out to Michael and double check to see how much is lost in the process of removing the refrigerants and replacing them when you're fixing the AC. Michael did talk, I'll look into it, sorry.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to hear, because I thought it had to do with like ongoing maintenance, not just end of life.
Yeah. Yeah, if I remember correctly in the report, there is a recommendation that when there's a problem with the AC, you don't wait, you immediately work on it, which is maybe something that's different from what we've done in the past.
Okay. Oh, and Julie, the problem with the sheet is that if for each column, it has how do I say this? Oh, you moved it into an Excel doc. Okay, that'll fix it. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And then you wanna go back to the top, we're done with this one.
Well, let's see, are we done?
Okay, I would just say, I totally agree that Phil should be taking the lead on this because there are, and it's challenging, it's a job. Hey, it's a job.
Yeah.
Second, it's challenging in our office and other offices telling other staff how to do their jobs, and it would be even more challenging for a commissioner to be telling someone how to do their job. So, however, I think that there are going to be ongoing roles for Climate Smart Kingston Commission regarding refrigerants. We just don't have something right this moment.
It looks like there's a lot of PE5, like, for that's like, for what we're already doing, we should probably, as a commission, make sure that we get as many points as we can.
For refrigerants?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's something that Phil can do also is, just, I think that we actually probably got all the refrigerant points we could get based on what we've just done, but, Phil can take a look into that.
Yeah, is there any support on refrigerants that would be helpful for the commission to do this year? Although we have in the past, but it might be that we have done what was left from there, some more for us to do. At this time.
I think at this time it might be good. The only thing I can think of is when we have the public, like, at the great fair,
There's events.
those kinds of things.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
That was easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill will do it.
Bill will review it.
So we roll.
Let's hop to the top of the page when you're able.
Okay.
I believe we've got
You wanted to go back
code
to the
review,
back.
solar EV, and battery readiness.
It's
One of
not,
those.
it's
Oh,
not,
sorry.
no, it's not really code review, but the whole battery readiness topic, when I sent everybody the flyer for the event, Michelle Gluck, is that how you say her name?
Yep.
She works in the Ulster County, what is her position? I don't know. But anyway, she emailed me and said, can we, count this event as PE4? But PE4 is a county hosted trainings and
Yeah.
Julie was, I think, CC'd on this. So yesterday didn't count, but I do want to say that, there are two projects in the town of Ulster. Technically, they're not Kingston. They are our neighbors that those projects are going to go through the summer. So if Climate Smart did want to put on a county hosted training, work with, the county. Also, they included Eleanor Peck from Hudson Valley Regional Council. They would be I think the lead, we would be supporting, but I didn't have time to add to this. I guess that would be a new thing. It wouldn't really be
But-
under,
The same topic.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So I don't know if we're interested. Some people came to yesterday's event. I don't know what you thought. If you wanted to do more about it,
I know, yeah,
yeah.
Andrew Barry, Mayor.
and yes, Mayor was there.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. And, sorry, I don't want to take us on a tangent, but I thought it was a very good event. Lots of presenters did a good job. It also seemed like, it was my takeaway from a lot of the participants who were there, or attendees who were there. It didn't seem like they were necessarily against batteries. It's large scale batteries. It seemed like they're against where this project is being sited.
Mhm.
Which I don't know how much education has been going on, but like, to me, that's a win. Like,
Yeah.
if they're understanding the benefits and why these things are needed in New York, that's great. And they're just concerned about that actual site and are open to other sites, like, that's a good
I mean,
thing.
Pretty literally what NIMBY is.
Right, that's what I was gonna say.
Like, that is
Like, wherever you cite it, just the people who live
Right.
within a mile of it are gonna show up for the, right?
Anyway.
Just hate the technology and want it nowhere.
It could be more aggressive, that's true.
Yeah, so I was expecting it to be the latter, like people just hated the technology and didn't
I saw that.
care in the area, and at least a lot of the questions I thought were like, it is nitpicky.
There's already a giant transfer station in their backyard.
Right.
But like, we,
As far as getting back to the priorities for this year, do you have a proposal on that maybe?
Yeah, so I just think we could do one of these official trainings,
Mhm.
because the event yesterday targeted like local people,
Mhm.
everyday citizen. The training would more focus on like building inspectors and fire officials and like county officials to get the understanding. And I think NYSERDA has a set of trainings we could pick from. It doesn't sound like we would have to bottom line it. It sounds like Hudson Valley Regional Council would be helping lead that. So it would be like a supporter role, but like kick off the, I don't know what the word is, shepherd the initiative,
Mhm. And take that on as like a priority since it is a local.
especially because of the next
Current
couple of months are gonna be heightened for it.
Okay, so that's
time
on the
issue.
table. It is, yeah. So that's on the table.
So stewarding what though?
A county level training on battery.
PE4, county hosted training on
When
battery.
you say training, is this training like residents?
You click it.
Yeah.
No,
No.
not
It
resident.
sounds like more municipal staff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Who have a role in writing and permitting
Yeah,
and approving.
in decision making,
Yeah.
planning board members. town-
There was a planning board member there last night, by the way.
Yes, there was.
Yeah.
There was actually the town supervisor of the town of Ulster came.
And they had someone on their board.
And one of our aldermen came.
Chris Hewitt came from the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or like a- like-
there's a lot of people.
Those past-
Melissa did a fantastic
People were
job.
standing,
Yeah.
but this is not about that. I
We'll get to it in a minute.
so I just think
Jake, I think you would just be on all time.
Who's the lead and what?
I would be up for leading that initiative if we're interested in continuing that work.
So is there interest on the commission to take on that support role if Melissa's up for taking point? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okey dokey. Then that's that.
That one's almost set for what's happening.
Right, the projects are happening, so doing something around it makes sense. Okay.
I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody. I have to log into my
Okay.
class. Sorry to miss the rest.
Bye, hi.
Good night.
Text me if you have other thoughts.
I just had a weird feeling when I was gonna say goodbye, I love you. Say more often because I. I said, bye, I love you.
Sure, I would have said, love you.
Cool, let's bounce over to code review on solar EV battery readiness. We don't have to do the same thing necessarily. We did this last year. Is there more code review we want to do? Are there different steps you want to take on solar EV or batteries other than support training?
So I put me with Bartek there. That was like the only, I went through my notes, I went through the emails, the only unresolved action item that we identified last year was having a meeting with Bartek, which I think the idea was to figure out where the gaps exist in the code and like where those gaps are filled by state level or I guess federal defaults and where there's an opportunity for us to fill those in or maybe improve on them, use some stretch code stuff, I'm not sure.
Bartek, I don't remember.
He's a housing.
Great.
City Center Director, yeah.
Beautiful.
Who I guess is the guy who is most knowledgeable about the zoning code, even though this stuff is not directly relevant to housing. I think he just knows about zoning stuff.
Might be the building safety people.
All right, so a couple things that may inform this conversation. One is that there is now an understanding in our city municipal government that our stretch code is now moot.
Whoa.
Okay.
Because of all of the new codes that went into effect in January, that now essentially supersede the stretch code.
Interesting.
So we are now effectively not following that footing.
Okay.
Essentially now obsolete.
Superseded by-
by the current new state code.
No, when you say superseded,
What's already in the stretch code or?
It's either included and or more stretching than the stretch code.
Okay.
level of state code has met or exceeded the stretch code and therefore the stretch code is, okay, cool.
That being said, also, I wanted to just let folks know that I did hear back from Bartek because I sent Bartek the battery storage, per the director of the mayor, sent Bartek the battery storage letter. And he said that they as in the zoning workforce, group are reviewing it and going to make either suggestions or code recommendations this spring.
Cool.
Oh, cool.
Is that something they would want to discuss with us, or is that something they're doing there?
The words that I said are the only things that I know. So if there wants to be more follow-up, it could either be Climate Smart follow-up or me follow-up. But that's just related to the battery.
I guess I would just say, if it would be helpful for them to speak or meet with us, we would be happy to do that. And I would be happy to take lead on that.
And so would that fall under this 2.1 battery energy systems or the 2.2 code review?
I think it's still code review.
Okay.
Right, it's still code review. You can take the lead on that. That does sound like it would help sort of close the loop on something we already started, so I would
Yeah.
certainly recommend that we.
Because last year we like reviewed the codes,
Yeah.
we made some recommendations, we then took those recommendations, put them into a memo with the actual recommendations, and those were provided to cities.
The memo is specific to batteries.
Yeah, EVs and solar, we kind of were like.
Solar,
there's
I
not much
felt
to
pretty
do.
good about. EVs, the only thing I was thinking was like something more clarity around level 3 chargers, but I don't feel that it's incredibly necessary. Given that Kingston already has several level 3 chargers
Yeah.
that are well treated and well used.
Yeah. So my only suggestion would be like, if we're really just focused on battery, do we get rid of, we just call it code reviews, battery readiness, or does it need to have that name?
Oh,
I,
More sure.
yeah, I feel like I'm motivated.
I mean, in that case, do we just combine 2.1
That's
and
what I'm
2.2?
thinking, like, do we just combine them, and this is like stuff related to battery energy storage system?
I definitely think
One
batteries
is
are the most urgent of those three things,
Yeah,
so.
one is education, and then A is education, B is support code.
Support code kingdoms.
What are you saying?
Yeah,
We think we want to unify 2.1 and 2.2 into just battery energy storage. Or maybe just like battery readiness, does that make sense?
I mean, I feel like they can stay,
They can
yes, we
stay
just.
separate. I just don't think
By
we
that
need
same
solar.
level that you-
Oh, I see, okay.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Thought that part of the conversation was going to be making sure we closed any loops on EV and solar questions. Is that not right? It was more about batteries, Jake.
I think that,
I think what we're saying is that we, who did the code review, which was Jake, Emily, and me, feel that the loop is pretty well closed for solar and EVs.
the remaining questions don't feel urgent enough to me to spend my time on.
Yeah,
For the other.
but the battery,
The conversation that remains is about batteries. Oh, okay, great, thank you.
Yes.
That wasn't clear, got it.
There was that one thing with solar where the code has an arbitrary size limit for ground mounted solar that I think other folks were working on.
the conservation advisory.
CAC mission.
There-
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, they were working on.
So,
And there was like some weird like language in there, but none of it really worried me.
okay, so what is the action meeting the party or still figuring out where the gaps are in the code and filling in the gaps? That
The
was.
purpose of meeting with Bartek was to figure that out. But now we also, I think, have a separate action item, which is to determine whether the zoning working group would find it useful to speak with and or work with us.
Yeah,
That's
so
nice.
just general check-in conversation, right?
Right.
To find out if they need any help for research or anything that we can provide.
So Julie, is that something, can I just email Bartek about that? Or is that something that you should make an intro or?
Make an intro, or you can email him and CC me and say, hey, Julie said.
Great.
Do you want to do that?
I will do that.
Lovely.
We should move on soon.
Great. Moving on.
We feel good about that? All right, we had community gardens on here and we had talked about connecting with Grow Well. Anthony, do you go to Grow Well meetings? I can't remember.
So Growwell is a subcommittee of the Live Well Kingston
Yeah.
Commission. I'm chair of that commission.
Okay.
The next three things are kind of all things that we can like passively support if I would think if like everyone in Climate Smart just received the same or similar emails that I receive, is that
Which is what do you,
like I mean yesterday I got one that was this is how we can make the UCAT thing better. It was just like a survey from the Ulster Council.
I didn't get that.
I didn't get that either.
Well, I know, I get that. That's like one of those things. You know, I get, because I'm just plugged into the health and wellness department, but like, which is like one person, so I think it would probably be easier to get the list of people on this commission's emails.
But
If you give me that,
that's a
like I.
passive action. That's a very passive action. They just maybe not for folks.
What do folks feel like we want to do on community gardens? I think we wanted to not step on toes at Growwell, which is already doing stuff around community gardens, and I think.
I just want to know what they're doing.
This is maybe the same thing as the last one, right? Just like check in with them to see if we can help.
I think so, yeah.
We've lost the comments in the conversion to Excel, but I think that Kat and I have a side conversation on there about it would be nice to either send someone from, like, have one of us go chat with the folks working on Growwell, or have someone from Growwell come and talk to us at the beginning of the meeting to find out what their community garden initiatives are and if there are things we can do to support. That would not be us taking lead, but I think it would be a support. We would just want to like talk with them.
Yeah, I think support for that one. So I like the idea of having someone come to talk to us here.
If there are.
If they're done.
Or if we go to the.
Yeah, they
Or
could.
Zoom in, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they show up.
They also would be open to like attending a meeting and coming back with notes.
Right.
I tried to do that and then I could not make it the day of.
So is the action inviting them to a meeting or sending someone here to one of their meetings?
I think it would be nice to ask them if they'd like to come to a meeting, and if they would not like to come to a meeting, I think one of us would be happy to attend.
Is anybody saying he goes to the meeting?
So, yeah, like all those meetings are usually the same, especially now in the winter, 3 people, like me, Emily Flynn, the director of health and wellness, and the chair of Growwell, Cindy, who in Puerto Rico for the.
And another pathway could be that you could be like a report back,
I could,
like we would with Ulster County Climate Smart. And then you let us know if there's anything we need to share on the Facebook page that's coming up, or, you know, that could be a route, unless you want more participation and that, you know. I don't want to.
I mean, I could definitely do that. I could definitely do that.
So you're asking.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah, it would be, if you're up for doing it, I think it would be really helpful to hear what the community garden type initiative, if there's things that should be helpful.
Okay, so I'm gonna add it to the check-ins on the meetings, and if there's something to check in on, then check.
local food production is kind of one of the recommendations that the.
Did something.
Yes, it is, under, management resources sustainability, maybe,
Food systems plan.
right?
I think that is a check-in sounds really helpful. Is there anything else folks want to put on there that feels sufficient?
We're gonna use this for compost. I will take it.
Okay,
So plates, silverware that's compostable, and all food scraps can go in here. And I'll label the garbage separately.
thank you, Julie. Okay, we have public transit, bus ridership, really, that's a county initiative. They sent out a survey. I was curious if there's anything deeper we could do on that. A couple other folks chimed in on that as well in another document, so.
Which I still have
I
here.
don't think there's a lot. It was mostly just like, it would be nice to talk to someone. So I don't know if a UCAT person could like join us on Zoom for the first 15 minutes of the meeting or something. That's another one of those.
I wonder if we can be more directly connected here. We circulate the survey, but perhaps there's someone at UCAT that would speak with us directly about whether or not there are other ways we can help. I support this idea. I'd like to see what the survey responses were for Kingston specifically, and where utilization of public or low emissions transportation could be improved. So how does that translate into this spreadsheet?
I think it would be helpful to have someone from UCAT talk to us at a meeting.
Yeah, we could send a list of questions. I'd be happy to put together a list of questions ahead of time and have them talk to us about. I was really interested to hear, like, again, what the survey responses were. That was me that Julie was quoting, and Cal. And just kind of understand how well their system is utilized within Kingston. I'm not the most connected to the transportation world here, so I just kind of have some, like, just want a little update on all of that so that if there's any gaps that we identify that they can't help with, maybe we can dream up something. I also, in my very extensive 2040 vision document, one of my dreams was like having a shuttle that goes up and down Broadway every 15 minutes. And the reason that I had that very ambitious dream is that when I lived in Sweden and studied abroad there, the public transportation system was really inspiring to me because they had them. You could get anywhere within the city within 20 or 30 minutes because the buses were that frequent. And I lived up an hour outside of the city and there was a bus that went as far as I needed it to go every hour. And so, like, I think sometimes, of course, there's funding that needs to be figured out, but I also think, broad statement, I think sometimes we can be more ambitious about public transportation than we are and that's not a statement about Kingston, rather about the country.
So as far as like our role, it sounds like you're gonna write up some questions.
Yeah, I'm happy to take the lead on writing up some thoughts about that and connecting with Julie to get the right email, I guess, if possible, for someone from UCAT.
I think
There's an Ulster County Transportation Council that meets at the county building, so that's not.
Yeah, I mean, whoever the right person is, then.
I think Jen also in her like state of the county announced an expanded route system. I wasn't looking, it was a big map they put up on the screen, but we should make sure we need someone to do with that. Yeah, it was just a quick flip of the map.
Right, and then it gets hard to like understand like what's connected to what. And
It was
how
all the
frequent
same
they are.
color.
The
That
announcement
was
was
not
like
even
Blue
out.
Line service on Sundays.
Right, that's the new change.
So I think there's updates that we should research.
All right, sounds like we have sort of a unified wish on this one, so I'll move us along.
I would like to change, no, support is probably a good level for right now.
Yeah, we don't have enough. It would be nice to be more active.
Yeah.
We can find a lot of info on, is it Participate Ulster? They just had the UCAT planning, they went through the whole planning process that I think ended at the end of last year.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down to just learn about what they're doing. Honestly, yeah.
All right, more clean mobility. We've got walkability, bikeability, dockless, some type of vehicle share. I think we're looking at bikes, not scooters.
Yeah, so we're in the early stages of saying the bike share program in the city.
So we've sort of handed that off at this point. Like the commission has handed that off at this point, right? Or is there support that you all?
Well, so once that happens, like we'll be eligible for points, right? Like.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's something the commission could support, or Phil should be doing this, is making sure that as we roll out whatever's happening, that we're doing so mindfully of what things would we get points for with Climate Smart.
Right, we're doing it with NYSERDA, so I think
Okay.
hopefully we'll be in good hands.
So
Yeah,
no-
sorry, we leaped forward to my question, I think. What is the status of the?
So right now,
Sure.
this is where I don't have the language exactly right, probably, but like the contract between the city and the granting agency is being negotiated.
Okay.
So I don't actually know the exact dates because I'm not the lead person. It's Emily Flynn, but it's moving along.
Very good. So there's not like there's nothing you need us to
No, I don't
do
think
at
so.
this point. When it exists, maybe we can help promote it or something. Okay, so at this point, there isn't really a role. It sounds like, no. No. That's exciting.
But open to marketing later on,
Great.
helping support.
I'm just gonna say keep tabs.
Yeah,
Tabs via Phil.
thanks, Phil. Yet another, let Phil do it.
It's good to have people with jobs with things.
So true. What a true statement. Heat island effects. Someone had to collaborate with Urban Forester. I don't really know that much about that, but I do know, and I noted on the other document that the next thing we're gonna talk about is the Cool Roofs local law, which does directly address the heat island effect, so that's exciting. Perhaps could dovetail with this goal.
That could really be talked about now, because I don't have yet a thing to talk about.
Okay,
Comes up.
all right. Do it.
So,
Yeah.
is there another bullet that says cool roofs, local laws?
Heat island effect improves cities' resilience, that's it. So anything that does that could theoretically go on this line. I'm not sure.
One of those things could be cast some kind of cool roof.
Yeah, so maybe before that, what was the urban forester, who wrote that, what was the point of that, I don't remember that. And so I'm just like, I think that we refresh on that, I guess.
Isn't that from last year?
No recollection.
Does anyone remember a plan involving an urban forester?
Yeah, the company.
I know there is now an urban forester, the city now has a forester.
Great,
Right.
So I don't remember this, but maybe it was like,
And I took
learn what the forester is doing for the city of Kingston, and if we could support them somehow. No idea.
that makes sense on its own, but not for addressing the heat island effect really, because that is a long game version of addressing the heat island effect, it's like talking to a forester.
Well, the city has a
Planting
program.
more trees.
Hang on.
The city has a program where you as a homeowner can ask for a tree.
We're doing that.
So that's totally the kind of thing where the people who are probably not gonna have the whatever, the people who are not gonna get access to that program are gonna be the people who are most at risk of experiencing heat island effects. So I could imagine that could be something.
Yeah, that's
Okay, I've got you, and then you,
Oh, I was just, nothing, okay.
you good? Okay, yeah.
My question is, Kingston is a fairly small place. And while there might be, I mean, when I think of the heat island effect, I think of like big cities where everything is covered in asphalt. And there's a fair amount of green space in this city and around this city, so I just don't know how much the heat island effect really affects our community. Or one of the things that I might think of in terms of addressing a potential, the people who will be affected by a heat island effect is having a cooling center. And I don't know if that's something we already do.
Yes.
Okay, because if that's something we already do, I don't necessarily know that Kingston being like the size that it is, has to worry too much about the heat island effect the way that larger cities do. I think you have to worry about individual people being outside during heat waves, and you have to worry about people whose air conditioning isn't sufficient during heat waves, and those things can be handled by cooling centers.
Dan was next.
I don't know, that's just my thoughts.
No, Dan was next.
Oh, Dan.
Yeah, well, the heat island, most of the culprits are gonna be strip malls and big boxes at the
Yeah.
grocery store, so
Right.
it would have to be something that can allow them to like wash their roof or something.
Yeah, I mean, it's just climate benefits.
Oh, okay.
As a reference,
Oh,
this was done in 2019. This is land surface temperature.
What
A
it,
terrible map, but in terms of that just came out, but this was done part of our NRI project. And you can see with the degrees, the redder it is, the hotter it is.
Yeah, so what are those couple of hot spots?
So this is Kingston Point, so this is moderation by the river.
Mhm.
This is, this is Schwank Drive, so it's not this is the plaza. This would be Dietz Stadium.
Alright.
Ish,
okay,
because this is Forsyth Park,
Okay.
so that's Dietz. And then this, we are here, this is the where the YMCA and Post Office Park is. This is the DEP complex.
So broad,
This is surprisingly warm. This is a cemetery. Oh, I didn't do that.
It's on the other side of the cemetery.
Oh, the train yard, oh, this is the cemetery, right?
Oh.
That's the rail yard.
Okay,
Again, this is moderation by the water.
thank you for that. That's helpful.
What do you expect the?
I saw Andy just saying.
Yeah, I think like
And the morning.
the size of like the city doesn't really make
Yeah.
the tree canopy any less
Oh,
important, but I don't think there's anything that the forester is doing that would probably help us bring it down. But he is doing a lot to put more trees in.
Okay, yeah.
Just connecting the dots on the tree program and like grow well Kingston and stuff, if there was an option for like fruiting trees or something. I would sign up for that. And to keep people from abusing it, you can just say like, we'll do this. The whole spade truck and bring it like a decent sized apple tree or something like that. Then you have to like pledge to take care of it. Hopefully you can do that with a normal tree. Just here's a couple
I'll just use this, it's okay.
programs that are independent from each other that get really. But
Yeah.
people might get more excited.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
I would totally take it on a tree.
That's a good idea.
All right, I see Emily, and then we should maybe come up with some closing comments.
Yeah. So sounds like we have moved a bit from like extreme heat and heat island to maybe talking just more about like tree cover. I don't know if this ends up being what we want to focus on, but like increasing the amount of trees available in the city. I do know that American Forest has like a tree equity campaign where they partner with cities around the country to try to improve the amount of tree coverage, particularly in disadvantaged communities that have less trees and less shading. So if we're interested in doing something around improving tree coverage in the city to help, fight heat issues, and happy to look into that. But again, I don't know if that's necessarily like something we want to be doing, or if that's more on like conservation committee might be doing.
So just to sort of draw some threads from what everyone's saying, it doesn't sound like tree canopy as a method for specifically improving the city's resilience to extreme heat is a very doesn't sound like there's a lot of energy behind that in the group. So I think we can just put that down. I would like to hear about the Cool Roofs program, and if there's any final thoughts on this, I think.
I don't know anything about the Cool Roofs program.
You say what?
I don't know anything about the Cool Roofs
You
program.
don't know anything about it. Well, then we won't talk about it. It's on here.
I know it's on here.
Okay.
It's on here, and it was on here last month, and I think I shared something, and I didn't really delve into it.
Oh, okay.
So I put it on there. I put it on there as this could be something. If this could be an initiative.
Yeah.
Here's an example of a local law.
Okay. I think I would be interested in the answer to the question of how big an issue is this? And if we determine that it's a big enough issue that like on some of the bigger buildings, it would make sense to do it or to require it or whatever the law is, I'm up for taking point on that because I have experience with this, but only if it seems like a worthwhile use of the energy.
And how, what would the
so-
determination of that be?
I don't know. So that question that we put in the notes, I'm like, is this a big issue? It's on our goals.
I think it would be helpful to have an answer to that question and then maybe decide further if there's more work that we could do.
Yeah, I'm happy to review that quote as well.
Yeah, and also what's P7 entail?
Right. Okay.
We have a Cool Roofs law in Kingston.
It's not like we don't, but we're reviewing.
We
it.
definitely don't.
There's other municipalities that have it.
Got it.
I mean, also some of the, there are greenhouse gas emissions that are avoided when you, a very large roof, such as the roof of, I don't know, a whole plaza in, white paint because it just reflects, instead of absorbing heat. So, I don't know.
Yeah, it's all private.
Yeah, yes. Hal, tell us if it's worth it.
I would love to tell you. Okay, 3 years. So I could take point, we're not putting a lot of energy into this, so it's not like a big role, but I'm happy to do a little bit of investigation just for sort of our information. Yeah, low is great. This is not a priority. I just would like to have information if we're like, oh, that's cool, and it can be a priority. But I think I might have to, did you say you already sent out something on this or?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll check my inbox.
okay.
I don't really know how to find out how big a problem it is in Kingston.
We would need to get, I would say, would be looking at linear data. A, finding out where data is, and B, looking at that temporally to say, okay, in 2018, it looked like that. In 2026, and now it looks like X. So is it getting higher? That's one option. Or like, I don't know, there's so many lenses you could be looking at.
To
Like,
me,
is it impacting our health? Is there a correlation between the warmest parts and the disadvantaged community areas? Like, there's a lot of different things that could happen. I would start with, look at PE7.
Okay.
See what the state thinks the communities can and should be doing.
Okay, great. I can do that. Yeah, generally speaking, the thing that's the most important with a cool roofs program is you're looking at cooling days and cooling load. And the roof of a building on like a 90-degree day, a black asphalt flat roof can be 110 degrees, 115, 120 degrees. And if you can cool that roof down by coating it with like a reflective elastomeric coating, then you get it down to like 80 degrees. And so you've got
Also an
40
energy
degrees.
efficiency.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
So it's comfort for the person on the top floor, but then it's also like your AC is working way less hard. So that's what it's for.
We love.
So that's mostly about like the hottest days of the year, more than like the average temperature across the year. So
And I mean, looking at that map, it would probably be nice to look at that connected to zoning, because the hottest places are also the places that are zoned to have the highest density on that map. So for future buildings.
well, all right, I'll take that on just as like for our information.
Thanks, Cal.
Yeah. But it being low priority means I'm not sure what I'm gonna do.
Well, so I would take that up with
Sometime before we do this again in the year.
higher priority.
What you got?
I would like, that's a huge priority for me. Like, I walk across the city like all the time, and it's like ridiculous in the summer, and it's getting worse. Like,
Yeah. I think
got
one
rid of, like,
thing that the commission has like a lot of control over is sort of a separate question from whether it's important experientially. I think it's something that we don't have a ton of control over. And white roof coating would not help your experience of walking across the city very much.
yeah, all they have down is like leading by example, like, you know,
Also.
for 4 points or whatever.
Yeah.
We should move on because it's already 7:25.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be able to get to all the other things.
Yeah, I can't see the whole list, so I can't really.
I mean, like old.
We have other, yeah.
Oh, I think
Goes to 11.
focus
Well,
on.
let's just see what we got. So we have wedding presents, which we've mostly done.
I would
It-
say, yeah, I think that that's something, Julie had a couple of things she wanted to talk to me about. Maybe we can set up a separate meeting and just wrap that up outside of these.
Yes.
Great. Done. Building electrification protocol. Because if we're at 8 out of 11, we're pretty close, and I think a lot of these things are not so long.
Yeah.
Who put this on here? What were you thinking? Sorry, I just feel like, what was on your mind?
Municipal building electrification. I think this is an overflow from last year.
So perhaps, because it says new, so it would have been new last year. Yeah, I think perhaps we simply did not do that.
I also feel like Julie and Phil have a great handle on the state of all of the buildings in the city and their relative states of electrification. I feel like that's something that you guys have so much knowledge about that I don't know how we could contribute to it.
Yeah, I think no action sounds right, unless anyone strongly disagree. All right, moving us along.
Excuse me, I have something to do. I do not know whether are you contributing to it or not about the trees.
Okay.
The Arbor Day Foundation. When you become, as a matter, I'm reading, we are the world's largest non-profit. It's foundation, and they give trees, free trees when you become members, and they it's global, and for the benefits of the communities and all. and maybe that will
What's the name of it?
Arbor, ARBOR, Arbor Foundation, and they're giving free trees. So
Yeah,
I do not know how will that make any point.
I mean, it's some, we could
Yeah, there's a
promote
lot
it,
of
we'll join in our May Foundation, for sure.
Yeah, many of you must be knowing about it because they sent you have donation and all that and give you free trees.
And if you remember, you also get, annually, you get, greeting cards that have something nice on the front, and then the inside it says, this card, in your honor, a tree has been planted in.
Exactly.
And I give them just gifts all the time.
Exactly.
So great, yeah.
Exactly, yeah.
Yes, so it's on our radar, for sure, but we can be promoting it. Okay, I don't know what,
I see it suggested by Kat.
Sorry, I didn't realize that when it copied over, it must have copied, it looked right on the Word doc, I will say.
well, let me go back to,
But anyways, what I was trying to say here was develop a residential electrification and also energy efficiency campaign. This is something that I'm pretty passionate about and that I would be happy to lead, but I would also need a couple co-conspirators in. I had two thoughts here. First, just like hosting a couple of educational events for residents of the city. Tailoring one perhaps to homeowners and one to renters, which would be probably more energy efficiency related. I just think that there's a lot of value in the Climate Smart Kingston Commission specifically taking on something like this. And I'm also like, I've seen great things happen with Soul Smart campaigns or heard of great things happening, not Soul Smart, Solarize campaigns. And I think having a municipal version of a heat pump campaign now is gonna be slightly more effective than it was 10 years ago. It did when it wasn't as easy, and heat pumps weren't as effective. And so I feel like teaching people
And people
about,
didn't know what they were.
and people didn't know what they were, and now everybody knows what they are, but doesn't necessarily have updated stats on cold climate heat pumps or anything. And then another option would be hosting a training for local HVAC installers to just broaden the number of people who can install a heat pump in your house. So that would be something where we would have to contract with someone who has, or an organization, or find a grant or something to, it would be like a day or two kind of conference thing. With the idea of just expanding the number of people who are qualified to do this, because one of the reasons, not the only reason for sure, but one of the reasons it's so expensive is that there aren't a ton of people who are qualified to do it well.
Mm.
And that was just, that kind of came out of a conversation with a friend that I had recently.
Well, what about coordinating that with Central Hudson to see if they can do more rebates?
Sure, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of ways we could take this. Yeah, for me, like, I think heat pumps are a really great way to,
You know,
they're really the only way to electrify your heating system fully, unless you do like radiant solar. Anyways, and the value that they provide to me is a lot more than rooftop solar, and I think people are very excited about rooftop solar, and that's great, but yeah, I just like the idea of doing this.
Just to clarify, it's your observation that there are not a lot of trained heat pump installers in the area?
That there are definitely some qualified people, but again, I asked a friend who works essentially in installing and checking installations of heat pumps, and he said that there are qualified people, but there could certainly be more. Not only in New York's, like in the Hudson Valley, or in Kingston specifically, but in the Hudson Valley in general. I don't know, Pal, do you have a different experience?
There's a lot of places that, like, every place that's selling gas does heat pumps now. Not literally, but like generally. Having like worked with a lot of the contractors, there's a ton of them. A lot of them don't advertise heat pumps as their first thing, because they still want to be selling oil and gas. But they'll install heat pump, they're all trained, they have like the Mitsubishi credentials or whatever.
Okay,
Like generally speaking, anybody around here who does any kind of heating deployment is installing heat pumps.
okay, so maybe we can ditch the second idea, but I still think the educational events would be something I would be quite interested
I think that the community college does good training.
I was just gonna mention. Oh, great.
Okay,
What
they
about
don't
BOCES? What about BOCES?
Yeah, well,
BOCES?
BOCES trains starting like high school age to work on heat pumps, but they're still training a lot of those young people on like oil and gas, which is really annoying to me. Like those people have those systems in their house, but they're getting more training on oil and gas systems than they are on heat pumps. It's usually very minimal, unless you go into a specific program. So if you're doing general HVAC at BOCES, most of what you're getting is yes.
And that's kind of my thought, is that there are people who will benefit from this, and the more people we have who know how to do it, the better, you know, so.
We have a company, Empower, they're based here in Kingston. We're actually trying to introduce classes to educate younger tradespeople, so that could connect.
Yeah, no, my roommate did Empower Kingston and loved it, so.
Oh, you're working with Empower Kingston?
No.
No.
Oh, it's a
Empower
different,
is
it's
separate.
just.
Okay.
Yeah, they're an MEP contractor. They do all plumbing, electrical, HVAC, and he split everything.
Okay, I feel like we can get very deep into specifics here, but I also just wanted to ask if this is something that people are interested in.
Yes, if we're getting more energy into it, then we'll be able to.
I hate to ask this question, what BE is it related to? Or like, how can we get points for it? I hate asking that. I know that there's an.
No, but that is, I mean, that's literally what the
Really
honest migration is for.
I know we want to keep our certification, even though I also agree this is a.
I really think there is one for one of us. I feel like when I worked on the Smart program, I think that there was an action related to this that not that many people took up.
There's a lot of it.
There's actions for literally everything in Climate Smart.
I don't have the plan.
Can I just say, we,
Yeah, what you got?
when we did install our mini split system through NYSERDA, it cost about 15,000 and we got about 13 and a half back. I feel like that was wrong, but
Yeah, I think people don't understand it.
it was changing every year.
Well, this
Just did it at the right time. I don't know, is there still an incentive?
you.
I believe the state definitely.
It still has one.
There's one through the utilities now.
I think we were in there.
That's all the campaigns.
Yeah.
And that's a different one, I think, yeah. Yeah, we can.
I'll go with that.
We did do that.
Because I'm happy, if it was like 3 years ago, I'm happy to leave it
What?
there.
City?
If it was longer, maybe we could do it again.
Why don't we find out?
I mean, I kind of happy to at least like
Yeah, let's-
partner with you on an event. And, you know, not like, we can't, I think, take on lead a whole campaign, we being like NYCP, but we could certainly partner with you on an educational event, about heat pumps, and we also have been doing some in other parts of the state that we call Breathe Easy, cleaner heat and lower bills, and we partner with the local clean energy hub that has these like DIY energy efficiency kits. And it's a way of also getting it that and helping people who can't afford to do like professional air and installation, but there's a lot of like DIY things that they can do.
Yeah.
And so we hand out those. We teach people about safety precautions that they can take around gas stoves. So most people don't realize, oh, those are so hazardous to, you know, our health. And we auction off an induction cooktop. That's an event where we sort of combine like gas stoves and just gas appliances in general.
Yeah.
You know,
I would be happy to work with you on this. I just kind of put it on there so we could check if there was interest from CSK.
yeah.
Is there interest? Yeah.
Yeah.
There is interest.
I want to remind people that, Village Coffee and Refillery access the one's table. That was like, I think, like 2 years ago now. So we can table outside there. We can table at Rough Draft. Recently, I connected with them. I'm gonna be tabling there. So like, there's options for a lower than an event. We can just do a tabling day
Just-
on it.
I think
on deck.
let's leave it for now. It seems like there's excitement. There's we can talk more about it and we'll get into the details of what exactly we want to do. But I think this was a productive conversation already.
So we'll have some, great.
And
I
we
think
should
we
look
got some-
back and see what we did before.
I'm pretty sure that we've already, because I remember Ellie having to gather permits from building safety. And then we had to get a certain amount.
Wasn't that,
And then by getting that certain amount, I think we've already received like 5,000 or 10,000, and we already got like an award for it.
yeah,
But there was no actual, I will admit, there was no campaign. It was
it's
just
just people were.
people were doing it, and we got credit for the people doing
Yeah, and I,
Don's campaign.
All right, what do we got left? 10 and 11?
Yes.
What's 10?
10 is also me.
Okay,
And we already did 11, so we're actually pretty
oh,
close.
that's right. Tell us.
So 10, I'm very into climate education and also very into potentially getting more people involved in visioning or understanding the work that Climate Smart Kingston is already doing and providing input on the work that Climate Smart Kingston could be doing. So I was thinking some sort of community outreach and survey, or I love a visioning session. I have not led one, but I could try to.
Do you
and-
folks like this idea
I don't know.
generally?
You're talking about, like, are you saying you want to get a pulse on if people think that they know that we're doing stuff, or if they think we're doing a good job, or if they think we should be doing other things?
I think it would have to be it would have to be like a 10-minute presentation of like, here's all the things Kingston is doing. What else could we do that you're interested in? And just kind of understanding what people's concerns are right now about climate and about the environment. And seeing if there are ways that we can then address some of those concerns by either doing, like, once we have that data, we could do more education. Or just connect with individual people, try to answer their questions, that kind of a thing. So this was just something I wanted to throw out there, and
I would say that we could start, or folks could start by looking at the last time this would have been done, which would have been for this current climate action plan. So this action would have been done already
yes,
in that process, so, and I'm sure, and all the results of that, and probably on our website.
okay.
But that would have been in like 2019
Okay. And I think
or 2020, which certainly was a different time.
it was a different time, and I think things may have evolved.
Yeah, can I just for clarification, who did that last time? That was an agency that the city hired?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that wouldn't have been
Goodness,
us.
it wouldn't have been-
We didn't.
Oh, cabinets.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
they
like
do a good job.
contractors. I think that it's above our pay grade to like do sort of a advocate for one,
Yeah.
if that feels.
I would love to be involved in designing a survey. I don't think I could gather the marketing to.
I could, as an action on this, I'd be happy to get both the survey and the results from the survey that were done for the climate action plan.
Okay.
And then first step could be just like reviewing that survey and being like, wow, that was actually a pretty good survey. We should just reissue the same survey.
That's totally.
Or whatever. That
Yeah.
could be a start.
I think that's a great place to start. I will also say, as an addendum to this, beyond just the survey and visioning session part, I joined like, yeah, the train.
You know,
I'm
I
so
have
used to it, I don't think that's it. I don't even have to say it. Yeah.
That was a truck at first, that's awesome.
I live like 3 blocks that way, so I hear this all the time. It's not register anymore. Sorry, my mental addendum to this was kind of, I've been on the Climate Smart Kingston Commission for a year and, or roughly a year now. And I feel like, I've learned a lot throughout the process. And one of the things that I've learned is that Julie and Phil are killing it.
Yes.
And so I want to be additive to that in the ways that I feel I have experience and can be helpful. And I just want to make sure that we are developing priorities and actions that people are excited about, and that also are additive to all of the municipal things that Julie and Phil are genuinely like. I don't think I've seen a better sustainability team. I'm not gonna actually state that. I retract that statement simply because I used to work with a lot of people. Anyways.
That are also amazing.
That are also amazing, but you guys like have so much on lock that I really want to find ways where we can do a little bit less reporting out and a little bit more making use of the wonderful talents that are in this room.
All right.
If that makes sense.
Emily and then Phil, and then we really gotta wrap.
So one idea to solicit input from the community, not through necessarily survey, we could think about what it is, but we have Earth Fair coming up in a few months. And like Climate Smart is there, we could have it like wherever our table is, we could do something there where we can, like, whether we want to do like a board and have sticky notes and those people could like write their ideas down, or just have a box where people can stick stuff in.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, and we could try to get some of this informal feedback that way, just for
I think
Great.
that's a great idea.
And then Phil,
I was just gonna say something.
same thing, right there.
Yeah.
All right.
great minds, Will.
Do we feel like we've done everything we need to do on this document?
Yes.
Can I just ask the new folks, is there anything that they're like, dang, I wish Climate Smart would be working on
That's
this?
the question.
I'm actually, becoming a master gardener, volunteer, my head is full of, insect pests and fungicides and plants and all of that right now. Literally, like they're jamming all this information in my head. And one of the things I noticed is that there's very little coordination between that kind of effort of educating people about the natural world and what it is actually doing during climate change. Because it is really, really alarming what's happening in the natural world. So I would love to, sitting here, like literally brewing and all of this stuff, I'd love to contribute either through Growell or somehow to make the commission more aware of the natural processes that are going on. And then also again, like several of you are into this idea of education and how literally, even if you live in an apartment, you can be contributing in a positive way to the natural world. Julie's program is one, composting and becoming more aware of the cyclical nature of how all of this works. So I'm sitting here literally thinking, how can I put all of that knowledge that I've been gaining in the last 2 years to use, on the commission? That's where my thoughts are going. If any of you have like a brilliant idea that you can float by me, I'll entertain it.
Just, there's a couple of incentives like in Europe that I don't ever see here, and you kind of touched on the larger buildings, multifamily, BER ratings, building energy ratings and studies like that. I know that they've done it in Manhattan. This is a smaller center, it's not a bigger building. But in Ireland, if you look at buying a house tomorrow, today, now, one of the first listings, forget about the price, is the BER rating on the house. So you know straight away what it's going to cost you to run that house per year in terms of fuel or electricity. It's something that's been introduced.
What does it stand for?
Building energy rating, it's a BER rating, and somebody is hired to study your windows, your insulation, your roof assembly, X, Y, and Z, and you're put into a category, whether it's got new construction, it's only in the A ranges, older houses are H, G, they're way down. I wish there was something more that we could study on here to narrow that down and bring that into more of a focus, but I'm sure it'll come in time, but
That's not like any.
Do you know that it's an energy audit, that is exactly what it is on a private residence, it is an energy audit.
Well, that should maybe be the starting point for any kind of, as we move along, like energy audit, electrification, et cetera, you know, you need to have a more process that's more complete.
And the plus side to that is the Sustainable Energy Association of Ireland has its own website that will introduce any homeowner to a list of grants that they can apply for.
That's for,
Well,
Yes.
Insulation just in your roof alone, new triple glazing windows, underfloor air to water underfloor heating, which is a lot more detailed. It's not as straightforward as heat pumps, and you got to rip out the entire floor on the ground floor. But there's a whole list of categories, and you can look it up on a website in 5 minutes. It's a very government oriented funding association, but they're pushing the green energy in Europe a lot more. I feel it's on it's on the television, it's on the radios, it's on billboards. You're driving down the street. It's a bit too much. I think it's out there. The money is available, but you have to borrow and do the work, I think, pretty much upfront yourself. And then when you get certified, so you can't just hire any old tradesman to do it. You have to get properly trained professionals to do the work. Once it's signed off, you get that grant back from the government. I think that would be brilliant if we could do something like that here.
Isn't that the role of NYSERDA? Don't they have that as their?
Do the rebates.
There might be something.
And then I'm wondering how the commission would interface with something like that. Again, it's an education thing.
How's that there?
just that building rating for when you're going to buy a house, you can move to that rating, that exists here, but like I'm going through BPI training right now, so I'm getting trained to do things like energy audits. And the last chapter in the textbook is about a rating system for buildings where if you were buying a building, you could see how much energy it takes to run it. And my understanding, I don't know if that's a New York State, I believe it's a national standard. My understanding is that that standard has not been properly enacted because of pushback from like real estate lobbies who don't want that information available when people are buying property. So that there is a categorization for that. It exists, the standard exists. I just got trained on how to do it, and the instructor was like, nobody uses that because they won't list that on a real estate listing anymore. But that means that there is a system that like if a municipality wanted to fight the real estate unions, that municipality could do it.
Yeah. This is the work I did when I worked for the city of Berkeley, called the Building Energy Saving Audits, where every home in the city has to have an audit at point of sale. And the realtors pushed back really hard. And I think it was less because they didn't want the number listed on the listings and more because they just didn't want another checkbox in their long list of closing items. It's possible. It is, there's going to be a lobby of very dedicated and committed people fighting against it for sure. But yeah, the systems exist. The people are out there who know how to do the audits, right? You can get them for free today. So it's possible. It's just not easy.
The audit is foundation.
Right.
So the place where you would, where there would be, fall under the city of Kingston would be if there are already rules and regulations in place for sale of property. I don't know if the city of Kingston has any foot in the door when a piece of property is sold, other than, maybe needs an inspection to make sure the roof isn't falling in and the foundation's
For
cracked.
building safety, I
But
don't think that we do anything. I mean, there's always, it's just like, when we do, require,
Private inspector.
there's
There's nothing to,
like,
so yeah,
I'm just trying to think about my experience when we bought our house.
we could do some.
just trying to think of how the city of Kingston could
It has to
enable
be an
something
extra,
like that
yeah, an extra step.
and be prepared to.
Open to
Well, we can
discussion.
pass a law.
Yeah.
There's a certification level, like the framework exists.
But there's
I can bring my textbooks.
but that's what like benchmarking is, right?
We kind of circled back.
Yeah, so like.
So-
if that needs to be one of those early-
We can't give points for that when we have more than 40,000 people.
I like the
It's like
idea a
homes.
lot. I think it's a cool, I think it's a cool idea.
So is that a different action?
Maybe we wanna talk more about it rather than add it as a,
Just maybe we add residential to the commercial benchmarking thing above. Right, performance standards, just add.
Yeah, but we have
residential, so-
performance standards on here.
Yeah, just add single family to,
I mean, this is also kind of different than a performance standard. It's simply a rating that tells you the actual status of the building. So that's benchmarking, I guess. Yeah,
one add as a lot of.
but it might be easier because you're not actually requiring changes. You're just saying, here is the.
All right, well, I'd added single family under number one.
You're saying that's our NIST standard?
Just, oh, sorry, one last thing is, you can go on to NYSERDA's website and you can find, like, you can look up your county, like, they have a platform where you look up the county you live in, how many people live in your household, and then it will give you, like, a listing of all of the types of programs available to support you with, like, efficiency, and then you have to kind of, like, click through them, read about them, and then there's to get the funding associated with them, you have to use a participating contractor, and they have the list of all the contracts.
It's the exact same.
Yeah, so we, I don't know if it's as easily findable as it but like, you can find it on, you can find that on NYSERD's website. I'm happy to send the information around on the there's like, for energy efficiency, it works that way for homes, and then also like, if you wanted to install solar or batteries for your home, it's the
Yeah.
thing, you have to go through a participating contractor to receive the incentive.
Right,
And it has the one, usually it has to the homeowner directly through the contractor.
right. Like this one, the home grants is the first one, then find contractors, plan your energy journey. Business grants for commercial spaces.
Yeah.
All the information on the BER, the building rating, electric vehicles. That's their entire list on their website as to what you have access to. And so it's on any given day. So it's all there.
Green Jobs, Green New York, it was a really big push to make that, it's be that entity where any homeowner would get an audit for free. State gave the auditor $250, and then you were given a report at the end of that audit, and you could get incentive. That contractor then provided incentives for the current incentives for each of the measures that they put on the list if there were. But I don't know what's really happened to Green Jobs, Green New York, if it's kind of
It's still,
falling out of favor, if you can still get a free energy audit,
you can,
so. That's just.
yeah, it doesn't sound like, like,
Exists.
yeah, like, if you go to like NYSERDA's website, you can click like, I don't know, like, they have like 10 or 20 different options, like who you are, and then you click on it, so you'd be like, I'm a homeowner, and then it's like a laundry list of programs. I think they're working on trying to make it more easily accessible, but not there yet.
So if we're done with this, it's 8 PM, I'm handing it back.
Great, all right, thank you. So well done, thank you, Cal.
Thanks, Carol.
So I'm going to take this and clean it up and streamline it, taking out the things. Or maybe just keeping a reflection of the things that we're not taking action on. But the question is from here / on the next meeting. Is everything that there is action going to be on the agenda, and is that all that will be on the agenda? Or is not everything going to be on the agenda? Or will I be sending out notes 2 weeks or 10 days in advance before I put out the agenda that says, hey, people that are the lead, do you have something to report on at the meeting, and only doing that?
I will say, I think it's good to hear about the city projects when you have substantial updates, because then I'll be having a conversation with my neighbor and be like, city's not doing anything, and then I'll just be like, well, actually, and so it's like, we can be good stewards by having that kind of information. I think you said last time, like, only if there are really good updates, I'll talk about it, otherwise I'll skip. Also, Repair Cafe is on here, which I'm still confused about if that gets us points or not. And I think like John was trying to make it so that you can get points for that. We're still doing it. I'm still gonna keep doing it. Yeah, we should
When do you
probably.
think it's gotta be
If there is this explicit action, it definitely would be
I believe that there-
creative action.
I believe that there is.
Yeah, I think
Okay,
as a legacy to John.
okay.
Okay, so in terms of these things though,
I like your third suggestion.
which was if the lead wants me to edit, then we'll edit.
Yeah.
That requires work on all of your parts in
Which
advance
means
of the agenda.
we'll see what happens, right?
Can we just go back up to the one that was related to grow well?
That's fun.
Happen to be right here.
Oh,
Join
I
us.
was just thinking, given Aneshka's comment, like. Is, like, reason to think about for next week, if you want your name, this wouldn't
I
be
can
grow well, but like,
Definitely
it's
put my
gonna.
name on there because Emily's been trying to get me to attend their meetings. She nabbed me at one point, actually in this room.
Okay. Great, so that's what we're gonna try for the next month, and that I normally put out the agenda 6-ish, maybe days before, so 10-ish days before, I'm going to reach out to you if your name is on the lead and say, would you like this to be added to the agenda?
Okay.
Does that work? Yes.
Yes, I have a question. Next meeting, it's actually a suggestion. I think that this has been super, super helpful. Next meeting, I think it would be helpful to have a longer conversation about the agenda and structure of the meetings, because, whether we want to, for instance, have like a 2-week out kind of working group session or something like that. Just to like kind of formalize. I know I have trouble working on things when I'm only thinking about them once a month. But just like have some more like procedural conversations.
Okay, I will have it to the agenda for next one. Okay. Is there any other follow-up on this time? Okay, so, in an interest of time, I will certainly only touch on the things that that are poignant for right now. I'm going to be touching base with Kat about the website, so there's just a couple questions that I had before I just copy and paste.
Yeah.
The Earth Fair, planning is going really well, and, I don't know, anyone here who does planning, if you need anything from Climate Smart for Earth Fair.
We're a little under for our sponsorship budget, if you have any connections with businesses. I emailed Karen, who used to be on Climate Smart, and she used to donate Paul Wolfmaker used to donate every year. She hasn't answered me, I emailed her twice now.
Who are
I
you?
have a personal relationship, Karen, he used to be on Climate Smart.
Oh.
Yeah,
Speaking of realtors.
yeah, she hasn't answered me, and they used to donate every year.
She's okay.
Yeah, that's true, I hope she's okay. That's,
I mean,
Want the money, but yeah.
Emily's
it's not with that anymore.
Yeah, Emily Hauser said that she saw her recently, so.
Okay. Great.
But that was 2 months ago, I would say. Yeah, so please, if you have any connections for donors, you're about $1,000 short.
We need volunteers too.
Yeah.
How many volunteers?
Yeah, I'm curious.
I think I can volunteer this.
Volunteers for Earth Day itself.
Yes.
And that is April.
No,
May
after, or day before Mother's Day.
May 9th. Okay. I had it in my head as April.
And if you want to volunteer, please coordinate with Emily.
Okay, cool. We'll do that.
Like receive the classes or something, probably.
Great.
If you have to form, you can send it around to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'll volunteers. We do.
Nice.
Do you already have a form, or you're making a form, or?
Yeah, I think I just like Google Form is probably the best way to.
Yes. Okay, so you can do that.
Yeah.
Moving on, we are not going to be applying for the ZEV hydrogen grant. We did meet I met with Roberto and Hewitt, legislator, and did talk about the county possibly taking a role in it. I didn't ever hear anything back from them. I don't know if you heard anything back from the county.
I haven't, I'll check.
Okay, the grant is due tomorrow, but it is always roll. It is recurring, so you're just not gonna pull it together for this round. We had talked about Phil giving a replete report. I'm gonna table that until a future month, like next month. The Repair Cafe seemed like it was amazing. I saw photos and I took like a million zillion amazing photos.
It's, I think we had 51 fixed items, 17 diagnosed, 9 other, and the next one's April 25th at Regina.
Excellent. Kingston Organics, we're gonna be ordering the containers. My truck should be coming in June, so before you know it, we will be giving out the buckets. So if you haven't registered, make sure you do that. Paint recycling event is on May 16th, not ideal, but it's happening on May 16th.
That's the soon after the big thing.
A week. A week after the Earth Fair.
That's good, because you can promote it.
Yeah, we'll promote it at the Earth Fair.
People won't have forgotten.
People will not have forgotten.
Which date is that, the paint recycling?
16th, May 16th. I am still accepting volunteers. I have 5 so far and I need 10 more. So anyone else who wants to volunteer, AKA get paid $100 cash at the event. You wanna do it? Okay.
I'm also in.
I already have Kat, Anthony, and Hal registered, but if you wanna register,
All right.
so I will resend the link to register. You can also register to actually drop off paint at this
Put me in
point
for that as well.
to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you need.
We got,
Yes.
that Julie,
Huh?
we got, one person.
No, I do not have you.
It's actually gonna be.
I can get you. It's fun.
Did you?
It's super fun. It's like the funnest day ever.
Did you have a flyer for that?
Yeah, it's on the table.
Oh,
It wasn't the table. It's already-
I have virtual. Just put social. Then you just forward me it for the social.
That just gets them somewhere and someone gets them. Means get rid of them.
And I just want to note that the Near State Climate Connection Summit, which is June 11th, 10th, and 11th, we're only allowing 2 per community.
Oh my God, who are you gonna bring as your customer?
I'm not going,
You're not going.
and I'm going to go with what the hell is going. So, what's that?
I haven't considered it.
Yeah.
I've read.
So, I don't, has anyone registered for it?
Okay, but it's.
Is anyone thinking about it, or were you not thinking that far yet?
Where is it?
I have always wanted to
If you're
do
bringing.
that. It's on my bucket list. We were.
It's our sister's city.
Collaboration between. I was. I do. I
That's gonna be.
want to go to
Yeah, it would be nice to have somebody from Kingston, file smart there. There's
Too much time on it. I shoot my kids last year.
I can't do anything you said.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're all kind of talking at once, 2 hours. We're like,
Yeah, so I'm talking about the New York State Climate Connection Summit, which is a New York State DEC hosted event on June 10th and 11th in Utica. And it's a climate smart gathering, but they're limiting it to 2 per community. And so I'm almost certain that I'm not able to go. And like I said, I haven't talked to Phil about it yet, but we should just like, if you are interested in going and plan on going, it would be great for you to A, confirm that, and B, if you are gonna go and Phil and or I are not able to go, then you would actually go represent Kingston. So I will follow up to that next month. Before we close, I do want to just, acknowledge that this room is not ideal for this size board. It is not ideal, in my opinion, that everyone doesn't have an equal seat at the table. And now that we have 2 more people,
Yeah.
and not to mention Hyatt is not here, and Kevin rarely now lives it, but if he were here, I personally don't feel as though it is fair to have a back row and front row.
Yeah, no.
Both for, equality, but also for just communication and professionalism. But this room, I don't believe is available that room is not available at the time that we normally meet. So there's a couple options. You could A, move the meeting, B, as in date and time, B, suck it up, buttercup, and just keep going. Or C, set the room up in chambers.
I was just gonna ask you that.
Yeah, listen,
I was gonna say.
I should do that. It's fine.
It's a little more like air circulation.
This is very cramped.
It's such a, the view in there is gorgeous too. It's a beautiful room.
Have there been certain meetings in there though, during our meeting?
Yeah, a couple times.
Special meetings.
But not regularly, so
Yeah.
so maybe.
We're random.
Around it.
What meets in the other room at our time? Are they a smaller group? Maybe open to switching rooms?
I don't know, but I could look into it. But this, I guess I need to understand if people generally feel like this is not appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's too stuffy.
Okay, great. So I'm going to But we generally feel like we want to keep the time that we have because we'll figure out
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the normal time is still now 5:30 on the fourth Wednesday. Does that work for the two of you?
Yes.
Does that work for the
Yeah.
normal time? Yes, okay. So I'm going to try and move the two.
So there.
Requires quite a bit more on my part, but that's okay.
Everyone, the last meeting?
All right.
Let me take a
Business.
Oh, I posted all of the social media posts I agreed to last month and I felt very
Nice.
confident.
Yeah.
I'll find some other stuff to go through and, yeah, oh.
Kevin, have you been able to keep up with all this?
Yes.
We seem to say yes. You're muted.
Silence is perfect.
Yes, yeah. The goals I'm all good on. Were we doing anything on that, the cool roofs law? I think we just sort of skipped right past that. Is that tabled?
We wrapped that into the goals discussion.
Okay.
Yeah, Cal is
Yep,
gonna look
yep.
into that to investigate.
Okay,
is
yeah,
it-
see above.
Okay, is there anyone that knows that they're not able to be at the March 25th meeting?
No.
You have.
March 25th.
Is there anyone that knows they cannot be at the March 25th meeting?
Gonna be a rough day, man. We have like a 500 person advocacy day in Albany. Oh, we're back organizing.
Or if you're not able to do that, you can do that. Okay. Okay,
I'll be here.
then here, nothing, then is there a motion to adjourn?
Oh, wait, I just, real quick, February 27th, there's a free swag giveaway at Opera. That's where you can get your little tiny
Oh, I'll post that.
utensil kit.
Oh, I'm there.
Email that to the group.
Yeah,
I sent it
That's
to
tomorrow?
Okay.
Tomorrow is this?
Yeah, how did I do that?
Oh, I think I said March 27th.
No.
February, yeah, you just pull everyone's names out.
Meeting is next Wednesday.
Wait, sorry, this is March or tomorrow?
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow. Okay, I'll find it on the.
like 999, whatever street.
Okay. So we just moved to Derek, who was that?
That was Kat.
Is there a second?
Seconded.
All in favor? Okay. 6, 8, 10. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for bringing the food. If you have anything that's getting thrown out that's compostable, put it in the garbage can. Actually, just put everything in there and I'll sort it when I get home.
The compost.
Just put it all in there. Put everything in the garbage can and I'll sort it when I get home.
All right, good night.